Hello all, back again for another entry. Today, since in class we've been talking about, or a lot about classroom management, I'm going to go over how my cooperating teacher, Mr. Gregory, manages his classroom at Amazon Middle School. To tell you the truth, I don't think I've ever seen a teacher be as strict and militaristic as Mr. Gregory is. Not that that's a bad thing. Some classes need that kind of structure and I guess disciplinary action and support, I guess. But honestly, it's not the way I would ever run my classroom unless I had a class that was absolutely unbearable and out of control with kids that have no incentive or no yearning to learn. But the way it works, every day before each period, the students are supposed to line up outside the classroom in alphabetical order. Mr. Gregory then comes outside, addresses the girls, and says, "Hello, ladies, how are we doing today?" And in unison, they all must say, "We're doing well, Mr. Gregory, how are you?" And then he responds and says, "Ladies, you can go inside." And then he repeats the same things with the male students. And once they're all in, and he starts the lesson, if there is any kind of distraction by a student or students aren't paying attention and he sees it, he immediately snaps at them, sometimes even removing them from class without warning. I guess you can say it's a style that works for him, but I don't think that would ever work for me just because I'm not that type of person. He told me he grew up in a military family. His dad was in the military, and that was the way he was brought up. Yes sir, no sir. That kind of, how do I want to say it? That kind of narrow structure. Not to say that his instruction is narrow, but it's his way or the highway, basically. There's no leeway of any sort. Once students are set to task, again, if they aren't on task, he lets them know about it immediately. He's always watching. I would say the class is pretty productive because of it, though. I can't lie. I would only criticize that he doesn't use student-centered activity as one of his teaching methods. Usually it's individual students doing their own work quietly when he's not lecturing. And, the only time we've done anything that actually involved the students is we put them in groups of 3 and basically gave them, I guess, a SOL study sheet where they took a page each and studied it, took some notes on it, and then taught it to the other 2 members in their group, and then they'd rotate. And that's the only kind of student-involved activity that he's done in my first couple weeks there. It's funny because I've gotten a chance to talk to the students. A few of them want to know how I'm going to teach, and I think for uniformity's sake, for when I leave, I'm going to keep a few of the things that Mr. Gregory does. For instance, I'm thinking about doing the entering the classroom thing where they line up. I probably won't be as harsh. It's just not who I am. We both teach the classroom with the mentality of there needs to be a mutual respect, but I think I'm a little more loose than he is. For instance, I talked about the beginning of class. At the end of class, just before the bell rings, Mr. Gregory will get up in front of the class and say, 1, the students then have to pack up their stuff without standing up, mind you, and take everything off their desk. Once that's done, he'll say 2, and then all the students stand up at attention next to their desks, and then he says 3. and he lets the ladies go, wishes them a good day, and then lets the guys go once all the ladies have left the room. Like I said, I don't ever foresee myself handling a classroom like that. But to each his own, and everybody's got their own method. And honestly, I am overjoyed and excited to actually teach the class starting on February 20th, and develop my own style. I got kind of used to it last semester at Cold Stone High School with the 11th grade U.S. history class, because I was doing a lot of teaching by myself. My cooperating teacher would sometimes be in the room, sometimes not. If he had to interject, he would. And however, most of the time, he stayed silent, and the kids loved the way I taught. So I'm hoping that transitions here to Amazon Middle School. But I'm sure I'll be back with how it's going. And until then, guys, I'll talk to you all later.